picked him up from the gutter. I cleaned him up. I washed him. I put everything that he has at his feet.
Chop him. You pick him up, you clean him, you chop him. You bloody baby papa.
Hi, Good Life family. What's up and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video. Today I am going to be reviewing the movie How We Got Here, currently showing on Uche and TV here on YouTube. I know I am late to the club for this particular movie because this movie has been out for a while, but I have tried several times to make a review on this particular movie, but then one thing or the other just always happens and I end up not being able to make the video again. So I know I'm late to the club. I accept my fault. Well, please just stay with me. Okay, I have an amazing review for this particular movie for you. If you have seen the movie, do well to leave your opinion about this particular movie in the comment section, and I will be in the comments replying to all of your comments. This movie follows the sad story of a single mom who was dealt a hard blow by life and painfully journeys through pain, suffering and abandonment, all in a bid to give her child a good life. The notable faces in this particular movie are the ever-gorgeous Uche Montana, Emodi, Chimkasima, Kingdavid, Nwosu, and of course some other very talented actors. This particular movie went on to depict selfishness at its peak, the kind of selfishness that can be found in the heart of man. And I love that this movie did not shy away from actually going full out to depict selfishness. I love it because it is not something that is so common. It is a challenge that we face in the modern society, a challenge that we face in the world today. People are selfish. Edafe in this particular movie was an embodiment of selfishness. He was such a selfish person. He was just generally a selfish person. He was selfish in his decision to marry Adele. He was selfish in his relationship with Onome and her child. He was selfish also with the love that he claimed to have for his son. Like, how awkwardly convenient it is for you to suddenly fall in love with a child that you don't even know how this boy was brought up and raised. You don't know the suffering, the pain, the blood, the sweat, the tears that went into training this particular child. And then all of a sudden you find out that you have a son and you're so in love. I just want us to take our mind and think about how Edafe's reaction would have been, or how Edafe's behavior towards Brume would have been if he was in a happy marriage with his wife Adele and if he had other kids. Considering the kind of selfish person that he actually did come up to be in this particular movie, I strongly doubt that he would have actually shown this kind of interest in this boy, in this child, the way he did this particular movie if he had his own children. I just feel like the whole craze for Brume, you love him so much, he's your son, he's your this, to the extent that you even wanted, you were threatening his mother that you would take her to court and demand full custody. I mean, if this is not selfishness, then what is? This movie evoked a whole lot of emotions in me, and it's not just sad emotions. I was filled with so much anger watching this movie. The way I saw Edafe coming in his selfish nature, the way his selfishness just affected the lives of like everybody around him, too bad. Oh, so things were not going on well for you, and then you were so quick to run and go and leech onto a woman that will take care of you and make you the man that you are today. And all of a sudden you now realize that you have a son, and because you cannot have children in this current marriage because your wife is not ready to give you kids, you suddenly love the boy so much more than even the mother that raised him and brought him up. It was so heartbreaking at the point where Onome actually decided to just accept the relationship between Brume and his father to just happen because there was nothing she could do. And to be quite honest, that particular part just brought to my cognizance the kind of selflessness that the person of a mother just embodies, and that is just basically what was displayed here. Because for somebody like Onome, who has been hurt for several years by this particular person, but then I just feel like she had lived her life and then she came to the point where in her life all that mattered to her was just her child. She didn't even care about herself anymore. Every single thing she did, from her waking up to her eating to her sleeping to her working, it was all just because of this single child, because this boy just seemed to be the only ray of hope for her in her life. And every single thing she did for him. I love how she was so selfless to just allow Edafe to finally come into the life of this child despite how much he had hurt her, because she knew that the boy actually needed a fatherly figure in his life. His father had the ability and the resources to give him a good life. I also love that they did not try to force a happily ever after for Onome in this movie and give her a happily ever after by saying Edafe later realized his mistakes and came to now beg her to forgive him, and they got married. I just love that this movie left it at that. He came for his son, he got his son, and they didn't end up together. Because at the end of the day, not everybody gets happily ever after in real life. And I love that this movie was realistic enough to actually depict that. I'd like to move on to commending the top-notch acting from Uche Montana and Chimkasima Kingdavid. The boy is a good actor. I think he has been acting for some time now because I used to see him in epic movies when he was still like a little small boy, and then he didn't even used to talk much. But now he has grown and he's growing so well into a good actor. Uche Montana, oh my god. Do you know that I low-key feel like Uche Montana does better in someone else's movie than she does in her own movies? I just feel like you will see her real talent when she's acting for someone else than when she is acting in her own movie. That's just my own opinion, but then you can disagree, right? I love the way she literally became Onome in this movie. How fluid she was in portraying the character and portraying the role of Onome in this particular movie. Very, very commendable. I didn't even know that Uche Montana could easily play the role of like a poor, suffering young lady. She did really good. Very, very commendable. The whole emotions, the way she wore her emotions on her face. You could know how she was feeling inside without her even having to utter a single word. It's very, very commendable. Not everybody can do that. I love, love, love the realness and the realism that you could feel, see, feel, and sense in the locations in this particular movie, especially the ghetto areas, the house that they gave to Onome, the little props here and there that just helped to bring life into this particular movie. It's really commendable. Like this movie was just it was a good watch. In as much as it was a sad film, and I'm not really a fan of sad movies to be honest, but the acting was top notch. The direction of this movie, the quality of the film, everything was top notch. I just feel like everything came together to create like some kind of harmony and realism, and it just carried the movie so well. And they did not, bring in too many distractions and unnecessary drama on the side. And at the same time, the movie was not too quiet. I love that every other person in the movie had a life of their own. Like when Onome's friend talked about how she was traveling abroad. All of those kind of things just makes you feel like you're seeing like a real life story as opposed to just a fictional movie, right? I love that everybody had their own thing that was going on for them in the movie. But at the same time, everybody's own private lives in the movie did not affect the main focus of the story. It wasn't distracting, it wasn't overly dramatic, it was just the right amount of real. I love it. Love how the costumes and the flow of energy between the characters was in sync. Nwosu is such a wonderful actor. She actually played that snobbish rich girl role very, very well. And now let's move on to what I like to call minor flops, because every movie has one. So let's talk about the minor flops of this particular movie. Firstly, I want to talk about the how unrealistic the whole scene where they were trying to stone Bruno to death. I don't know, it's not realistic to me. That's just my own opinion. You can disagree. You know why I say it's not realistic? I just feel like it was overly dramatic for a group of adult men to come together to try and stone a small child to death because he stole a loaf of bread. I mean, nobody does that. Considering that they came from like a small ghetto community, where I just feel like that kind of environment is supposed to be like a close knit, like society of just low class people just living their lives. It's this kind of place where like everybody knows everybody, right? Everybody's mother, like one person's mother is the mother of the next person. Everybody just there's just this kind of harmony and love that you can sense in that particular kind of environment. Not necessarily complete love, but like it's a close knit setting, it's a close knit society and environment whereby if Brume had been caught doing something like that under normal circumstances, stealing a loaf of bread, I don't think they will kill him. Somebody can take him, report him to his mom, she will discipline him, or report him to his mom, and the person can actually like flog him and take him and tell mom, see, I saw this is what your son did, oh. I flog him, oh, this one down, down, down. It's just bread. I know that they were trying to portray how selfless the mother was and how much she loved her child and took care of him 100%. But then stoning a child that is barely 10 years old to death because he stole a loaf of bread is quite unrealistic. I don't think that will happen in real life. Next, I feel like the whole energy between Edafe and Adele was a little bit inconsistent. And why I say so is because at some point they're acting like they love each other. At another point they're acting like they hate each other. I don't know if that was like intentional in this particular movie. But then if it wasn't, I feel like the energy was inconsistent. Today they are at each other's throats. They don't like each other. Tomorrow they are a normal couple that are just having some minor misunderstandings here and there. I felt like they should have kept the energy like on one level, right? Do they hate each other or do they love each other? Which one? Like pick a side. Overall, I'll rate this movie a 7/10 because the movie was good, the story was good, the way all of the actors were able to portray the characters that they were playing ants in the movie was really, really commendable. But then at the same time, I feel like the movie could have been more. I feel like they could have still done better in this particular movie. This movie is not 100% movie for me. I don't know why. I didn't feel like the movie was whole in the sense that this is not all that they could give. I just felt like they could actually still give more, and that's why I give this movie a 7/10. And then if you have seen this movie, do well to drop your own opinion about the movie. How would you rate it? How do you feel about the movie? Drop your opinion about it in the comment section. I'll be in the comment section replying to all of the comments that I see. That brings us to the end of this particular video, this particular movie review. If you enjoyed this video and you're still watching up until this point, please do well to give this video a thumbs up, click on the subscribe button to join the family, and click on the bell icon that pops up after subscribing to get notified whenever I put out new awesome and amazing content like this. And that being said, thank you so very much for watching, and until I come again to your screen next time, I remain your girl, Mimi Nasike, and I love you all dearly. Thanks for watching. Bye.